Hi, my name is Anthony. Welcome to day 29 of deVOtion. Proverbs chapter 29 comes right out of the gate with verse 1, which says, "He who is often rebuked and hardens his neck will suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy." In the New Living Translation it says, "Whoever stubbornly refuses to accept criticism will suddenly be destroyed beyond recovery." This idea of a hardened neck or a stiff neck was an agricultural idea which came from the days when they used to use oxen to plow fields. Basically, a man would be there with the ox and would use one hand to guide the ox in a certain direction. Another hand, he'd have an ox goad, which was like a long pole with a spike at the end, and he'd use that to kind of basically stab the hind leg of the ox to make sure the ox kept moving forwards. But there were some oxen that were great with this, cool with it, and others that they were difficult to maneuver. It was like they had a stiff neck. They were hard of neck, as the phrase was. And so while the man was trying to steer the ox didn't want to go. The ox wanted to go its own way. And this idea of being stiff-necked became a powerful metaphor for someone who stubbornly refuses to accept criticism or direction or leadership. Compare that to another verse later in the same chapter, verse 18, which says, "When people do not accept divine guidance, they run wild. But whoever obeys the law is joyful." From these two verses, Proverbs is teaching us that wisdom means this: knowing that you can veer off course without realizing. Wisdom is also, therefore, allowing the Word of God to correct you before it's too late. And that also means allowing your pastor or your leader to speak into your life. Like it says in Romans chapter 10 verse 14, "How can you believe if you've never heard? And how can you hear without a preacher?" The bottom line is that it's easy for us to go off course without realizing it. Therefore, if we're the kind of person that stubbornly refuses to accept criticism or correction, we just keep going off course, and then it's too late. Let's not be that kind of person. Let's not be stiff-necked people. Let's be people who are open to the divine guidance of the Lord, allowing His Word and His people to speak into our lives so we can stay on course and achieve all that God's called us to achieve in life.